Welcome to State Television Company Western Armenia broadcast for today. Weightlifter Andranik Abrahamians interview live on Radio Arménie. The way of restoration of the rights of Western Armenia. President Andranik Abrahamians review. President Armenian Abrahamians speech during the plenary sitting of the National Assembly of Western Armenia. Last battles of Artsakh. Arman Tatoyan, the preaching of peace in those conditions is an open mockery. Salvage of Armenian culture by Baku is ongoing. The ancient Armenian ode dedicated to God Vahagn. Kurm, Arakelian. Weightlifter Andranik Abrahamian recently gave an interview on Radio Arménie live and talked about his sports career and achievements. My story begins with my family. My grandfather was also doing sports, and my father taught us from a young age the importance of sports discipline and always emphasized the importance of physical movement. Before entering Lyceum, I was at the same time interested in gymnastics, and at the school I started weightlifting. At first it was just a hobby, but then I felt that my body and soul were developing thanks to training. I was more and more interested in weightlifting as a sport, especially while watching the Olympics. It's one of those sports that gets relatively little coverage in the media, and people often don't realize its importance. At first glance, this sport may seem simple, but in fact a lot of effort and logic is required. I have been doing weightlifting as a competitive sport for 4 years now. At first I was engaged in strength training, but weightlifting is distinguished by its unique movements and approaches. This sport allows not only to strengthen physically, but also to develop mental stability. Today I am participating in weightlifting tournaments in the weight class up to 67 kg. I weigh 69 up to 69 kg daily, and before the tournament I have to plan my food and training properly to reach the required weight. Training is not only development of physical strength, but also testimony of internal discipline, purposefulness and endurance. For me, this story is not only about sport, but also about life. Through weightlifting, I have discovered how to develop one's inner and outer abilities by combining discipline and strength. Andranik Abrahamian noted that he proudly represents the high jump at sports school wearing a sport uniform with the flag of the Republic of Western Armenia during his speeches. Western Armenia TV congratulates the young athlete and wishes him new victories. President of the National Council of Western Armenia, Andranik Abrahamian, made a speech during the meeting on the occasion of the 20th anniversary of the Declaration of the National Council of Western Armenia. He highlighted a number of issues that are directly related to the protection of the rights of Armenian people and the legal recognition of the territories of Western Armenia. In his speech, Andranik Abrahamian detailed the problems that arose as a result of violations of the rights of the Armenian people. Mr. Andranik Abrahamian noted that Western Armenia is an exclusive territory that has been officially recognized as a state, including by the United States of America. He presented important documents that testify the population of Western Armenia has rapidly been subjected to genocide and massacres. In particular, Andranik Abrahamian emphasized the Treaty of Salvage. He emphasized that this historical document was signed and ratified by the Ottoman Empire. Mr. Andranik Abrahamian also emphasized that the Treaty of Salvage is the only international document that clearly defines the borders between Armenia and Turkey based on the arbitration decision of President Woodrow Wilson. President Andranik Abrahamian noted that this border remains the only internationally recognized border, which is especially important in the context of current regional realities. Mr. President also emphasized the diversity of the Armenian people. He mentioned that not only the Christian people are Armenians, there are also Islamic and Alevi Armenians whose inclusion in the framework of the activities of the National Council of Western Armenia should become an integral part of our activities. All the sons of Western Armenia are the sons of our nation, said Mr. President. Summarizing his speech, Andranik Abrahamian noted that the main problem for the future of the Armenian people is the full restoration of their rights based on the principles of the Treaty of Salvage and taking into account the interests of the entire Armenian people. On 10th December, the plenary sitting was held of the first session of the third convocation of the National Assembly of the Republic of Western Armenia on the Zoom platform. During the sitting, President Andranik Abrahamian made an important speech. He addressed the issue of unification of the Armenian people, their rights, protection and future strategy. In his speech, Mr. Abrahamian highly appreciated the participation of the attendees and expressed his gratitude to them for joining the regular sitting. He stressed the importance of unity and consolidation of forces, especially in the current difficult situation. We are here to unite the Armenian people and strengthen the state of Western Armenia. Our future is in our hands. The people living in Western Armenia are in difficult conditions and under pressure, but we hope that together we will be able to overcome these difficulties. The citizenship of Western Armenia gives Armenians the opportunity to become more united and ready to face the challenges of the future, Andranik Abrahamian noted. Mr. President also referred to the Armenians of Syria and emphasized that Western Armenia can become a symbol of the homeland for them that unites Armenians. Andranik Abrahamian emphasized the importance of protecting the rights of the Armenians of Artsakh and Vahagn, saying that unification with the Armenians of each region is a necessity. Referring to hostility of Azerbaijan, Andranik Abrahamian stressed that the National Council of Western Armenia is ready to continue its struggle for the protection of rights of Armenians and strengthening of statehood. Mr. Andranik Abrahamian reminded that these years have shown that nothing is lost, and thanks to joint work it is possible not only to protect but also to advance the interests of the Armenian people. We have proven that the rights and goals of the Armenian people of Western Armenia are recognized at the international level. The National Council of Western Armenia was established in Shushit, the liberated territory, and we will continue to work to protect the rights of our people. Nothing is impossible if we unite our forces, said Mr. Andranik Abrahamian. One of the residents from Apardzor village, Martagar region, told of his actions during the attack of Artsakh in 2023 on 19 September. Narek was in Sahakyan position when Baku's attack on Artsakh began. During the shelling, he transported the wounded and victims to hospitals, often being under fire. It was most difficult to inform the relatives of the victims about the loss, says Narek, noting that 10 people from a village were killed during the fighting in Aparadzor. After the combat operation on 23 September, he found his family, 5 children and relatives in Stepanagar. He returned to the village to bring food, but the next day everyone was informed that they had to leave the area. The forced deportation of Artsakh residents began on 24 September. I am still in Aparadzor at night, in Lechashen during the day, says Narek, emphasizing his love for his native village. Arman Tatoyan, head of the Center of Law and Justice Tatoyan Foundation, criticized the peace propaganda which is used to maintain the power of Yerevan at the expense of the foundations of the state. He emphasized that the president of Azerbaijan has already announced the return of 300,000 Azerbaijanis to Armenia, which is a plan to occupy the country under humanitarian pretexts. Peace is possible only through a strong state, national dignity and effective diplomacy, said Arman Tatoyan. Recently, Baku has started an active campaign against the sovereign territory of Eastern Armenia. In 2024, on 22 November, an exhibition organized within the framework of COP29 presented the fictitious cuisine of Western Azerbaijan. They distorted the reality and presented Armenian cuisine and culture under the name of Azeri. By Western Azerbaijan, Baku means the entire territory of Armenia. With such measure, it tries to legitimize its territorial ambition. Another false thesis was the presentation of the book about Yerevan, where Yerevan is presented as an Azerbaijani city. The steps of Baku are aimed at appropriating the historical homeland and cultural heritage of Armenia and strengthening territorial aspirations on international platforms. Kurm Arakelian translated an ancient Armenian ode dedicated to god Vahagn, on which you can read the poem on the official website of Western Armenia TV. This was all for today. I wish you a good day. We will meet.